Have you ever wondered why your wife, when you're getting all ready to get hot and heavy and make love and do all of that, suddenly goes from interested to not interested? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach, creator of the Hero Husband Project, and owner of Foundations Coaching. And, you know, this is one of the most frustrating things that my clients deal with. And it's because most people do not understand that there are two systems going on when it comes to being interested in having sex. There's the accelerator and there's the brake. And in men, a lot of times there's a lot of emphasis on the accelerator. These are the things that get you interested and raring to go. And women tend to have a little bit of a stronger brake mechanism. These are the things that are telling her that sex isn't going to happen right now. And this is a little bit different from her desire level, but it's intertwined. This is one of those things where it's just can be much more complicated than most of us think. But if you think about it like a car and you push on the accelerator, you speed up, you rev up, you're raring to go. But suddenly maybe something runs across the street and you slam on your brakes. Well, that's the inhibition. That's what happens a lot with women. There are a lot of things that can get them distracted, either from being open to your invitation in the first place, or once she's accepted your invitation, sometimes something will happen and it's like a switch flips with her, and that's actually really what is happening. So you could be going along, things are great. Suddenly the dog barks or the child cries or the phone rings, and it's like she goes from 10 to 0. That's because her biological mechanism has hit the brakes. And this is kind of the situation where, if you've ever seen one of those old shows where they have the television with the rabbit ears, and somebody just has to stand in exactly the right position to get the picture to be clear, and if they move, everything fuzzes up this is exactly the same thing. So if you ever feel like, all of the planets have to be in complete alignment and things have to be perfect and blah blah blah, all of that stuff that is so incredibly frustrating, this is the reason why. And so the answer to this is to figure out what her breaks are. And or she needs to figure out what her breaks are. What are those things that get in the way? And sometimes, even when you're in the moment, one of those breaks can be her feeling self-conscious. Maybe it's taking too long. Um, and she doesn't want to inconvenience you. Maybe she feels like whatever it is that's happening, you're not enjoying. And so what that does is that pumps her brakes. And what you want to work on is figuring out what are those things that help her to push on the accelerator. And it's not that everything has to be perfect, because lots of luck with that, but it's understanding the system and why she can turn on a dime. And this is one of the challenges, especially where you may have gotten agreement from her earlier in the day or earlier in the week that we're going to do this, and then the time comes and she's struggling with that. There could be some things going on that's causing her to hit her brake. And it can be very frustrating and disappointing if you don't understand. And by the way, she isn't doing this on purpose, but both of you may not be aware that it's happening. And so what you want to do is try to figure out, when are the circumstances a go and what are the things that can either impede that or basically just stop it in its tracks. And so I'm going to be doing a workshop about some of the things that go into her not being able to relax, enjoy, initiate all of these things that are all about intimacy and the steps that really go into play to have a successful interaction with each other. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. I'm going to be sending some more information about it in the next week or so. But also, if this is an issue for you right now, I invite you to get in touch with me. You can send me a direct message. You can put something down in the comments below. You can send me an email at Lesli at Foundations Coaching. But understanding how she works for both of you actually is what's going to enable you to create a better engagement with her. And so please subscribe to the channel. Please share this with your friends, share it with your wife. And until next week, stay loving.